In a world filled with diverse and fascinating creatures, one couldn't shine in the spotlight like others. Its iconic signature, chomping abilities, and its adoration around the world. I'm talking about the ding dang panda, alright? This delightful furry creature has been recognized all over the world by its iconic black and white markings, their love from different people, and most importantly, they are natural treasures to China itself. For those living under a rock, there's a bear with striking black and white coloration with a diet of a plant bamboo. It inhabits bamboo forests in the mountains of central China. The white stripes can be camouflaged during winter, and the black stripes can be used during stormy nights. What makes this species so special? They make the mountain range healthier with additional vegetation being spread with their love of bamboo. They don't necessarily affect the area negatively, more the opposite. But that's where the people come in. Bamboo is technically not classified as wood because it's mainly a grass type, but its infrastructure and properties like the woody stem and relationship with hardwood bypasses the rules. For the past few decades, there has been a rising growth of demand for bamboo to which it's been highly excessive and easy to obtain. This led to deforestation and loss of habitat to the pandas and can lead to their graves. Even though that's worrying for their currency, there's always a solution to this distribution. Ever since the supposed decline around the early 20th century, many organizations began to form to save the pandas from extinction. The most popular and inclusive one is World Wildlife Fund, since they have been working with the Chinese government since 1961. There are other honorable mentions like Pandas International, Chengdu Research, etc. These are not sponsored, by the way. For now, many of these organizations have different roles, like research on birth, more protection to their habitat, communications to others, and overall being vulnerable to the brink of extinction. For that reason, we can discover the future and what's to come for these furry creatures. But before we can do that, let's discuss how we got here in the first place. Some studies show that the pandas existed from approximately 3 million years ago during the Pleistocene age. In addition to this discovery, the first human interaction possibly was during China's Tang Dynasty, 206 BC through 24 AD, roaming around the gardens of the emperor. They were also known as mythical powers to them, which I think so as well. Unfortunately, there weren't many records of that discovery since many of them were recorded during the 19th century. Around 1869, a mysterious hunter brought up literal panda skin to a French Jesuit, man David. Around that time, most Europeans were unaware of this species. Even though that was a shock, the next centennial is where things really kick in. In the April of 1929, the Roosevelt brothers, Theodore Jr. and Kermit, were the first Westerns to ever shoot a panda. Why I oughta- Wait! They have a gun. Oh. Once the pandas were getting recognized, some random foragers started to take some from China to where they responded to closing the doors for no more exploitation. It was very clear that the pandas were getting low on the population, so China declared them as their natural treasure and kept them as a precious baby. At least, that's what we thought. Remember how human activity were affecting growth? Well, according to researchers, in the mid-1980s, at some point, they got to around 1,000 left in the wild. That was the lowest they ever got to. But surprisingly, one organization wasn't gonna let that happen ever again. Meet World Wildlife Funds. They were established in 1961 and were there to help animals around the world. It wasn't until 1971 where World Wildlife Funds and the Chinese government signed an agreement to cooperate, meaning they were allowed to help the giant pandas from extinction. But why are they specifically helping the giant pandas? Well, because they play a crucial role in forests. They have sustainable economic benefits to many local communities through ecotourism. This is a significant reason, but another one is their endangered status. Their decline was really worrying for World Wildlife Funds, and with their agreement with China, they put it their all to make their comeback. For around 30 to 40 years, they researched pandas, developed more land for bamboo to grow, transportation for the pandas, and found more food and potential breeding mates. It all came down to this. Before, their category was endangered, but ever since the change of July 2021, they are now invulnerable. It doesn't seem much, but for the organization, it was like a party outbreak. Before, the count was around 1,000, and now they have increased the numbers by 800. This is only the dust of the mountain, however. They still have a lot of work coming. But why did China help the pandas now? Because of money? No. Well, sorta. Like I said before, China declared them as a natural treasure because of three main reasons: symbolism, tourism, and cooperation. The pandas are a symbol of the Chinese wildlife, which aligns with their natural pride and cultural identity. It can represent peace and vibrancy to their own kind. Another reason that can be useful for China's economy is ecotourism. In 2022, China was ranked second in the world for travel and tourism. Sure, most of them weren't involved in the pandas, but tourism stands out of ecotourism, responsible in the wild without affecting it with travelers. Finally, the reason why pandas are the natural treasure is the most important: cooperation. Not only did they claim them as a symbol with various organizations that are aiming for the same goal. From the looks of things, they aren't stopping indefinitely after they reach a total of 2,000 pandas. Now that you know what it is currently for the giant pandas and their past backstory, you're probably wondering, why am I even bringing this up in the first place? For all those people who don't know me, I love pandas. Ever since I was 4 years old, I got my first panda at Kohl's, and it has been with me to this day. And if we're gonna talk about collections, I have over 15 pandas, and this is my first collection ever. I've been wanting to make this type of video ever since I discovered animation channels, and it seemed like a perfect video to discuss it. They're so cuddly and fluffy, and I even saw a panda in real life. But enough talking about me. Let's delve deep into the iceberg. Now that pandas have an increasing population, what's their possible future from now? Well, one thing is for sure, it will most definitely be better. The category is currently vulnerable, and since it took approximately 3 decades to move from one category, by 2100 the pandas will land on either near threatened or least concerned. There's gonna be more research until it's fully understandable and more land for the pandas to populate. Speaking of research, there will possibly be more pandas at different zoos around the world, but it might go slowly for the fact that there's only 4 pandas in the United States. There will also be an increase of funds from zoos and organizations, making it help the pandas even more. And finally, there will most likely be more collaborations with different organizations with China, making it more conceivable for their growth. Even though that is a goal for the giant pandas, they haven't completed it fully. These are the main organizations that are recognizable and what their future goals of the giant pandas will be. World Wildlife Fund is of course focusing on habitat restoration, mainly recreating ecosystems for the pandas. CWCA is focusing on the population management by increasing their biodiversity while in captivity. San Diego Zoo is working on breeding programs for the pandas and researching on how to manage it properly. Finally, Giant Panda Natural Park is focusing on the same goal World Wildlife Fund is currently working on, but it's mostly working and cooperating with the community as well. Sure, some of these organizations have different goals, but they all unite together to work with each other to help the giant pandas. They all have the same goals and cooperate like a team. What I also didn't know is that the pandas have close relatives, mainly 2 other bears, the grizzly bear and the polar bear. What if you stack them together? However, they are closely related to the specific South American speculated bear, or Andean bear. Apparently, its DNA and serology studies have been closely relations with them. Did anyone else know they existed, or am I Patrick? The other close relative is raccoons. There has been an argument of whether or not the only relative is either a bear or a raccoon. So why not pick both? Even though the pandas have a rough journey, do they really affect the environments around them? They do, but in a good way, especially the bamboo forest, helping it plant itself. How? By their poop. You see, when the pandas eat their bamboo daily, the bamboo seeds would be in contact with their manure, which would then be transplanted into the ground and later on be grown like the rest of the others. You learn something new every day. They precisely keep their mountain forests healthy from the droppings, which can help vegetation thrive. While there do be some cons with pandas and environments, but most of the time, they're not the ones harming. Moreover, the opposite. With that in mind, I want to tell you why they are underrated to most of the world. From looking at the different polls online of the cutest animals in the world, I found out that 86% of them include the pandas, 11% of them including the red pandas, and 3% had none on the list. Yes, I had to use analytics and math to prove my point. Although a lot of people think that the pandas is indeed cute, nobody rarely talks about it in general. As far as I'm aware, the cuteness of these furry creatures is what sparks them as an icon, to which organizations help them from the brink of extinction, and why China named them as a natural treasure. Still, I might be wrong, but without a doubt, people love them from their appearance, including me. Sure, other people have opinions on them, whether it's good or bad, but it's really not a big deal if you don't contemplate it for the rest of your life, especially when you argue with other people about their opinions. But we all have opinions, we just have to deal with it and move on with our day. I think I'm getting off topic. Even though their popularity is pretty low compared to other animals, they still get recognized from different people. They aren't forgotten, just mentioned. From the modern generation, the most recognizable animals that are considered cute are mostly pets like dogs, cats, hamsters, etc. These pets are kept in households or close with their owners, making it very common to folks near you. So why not make pandas as pets? Technically, they're wild animals are illegal to keep, stupid. You know what? You're right. While a dog and a cat can be relatively easy to take care of, pandas are complicated even for day one. You have to constantly give them bamboo because of an average panda has to eat 26 to 84 pounds of it for a single day. It will most likely ruin their active mindset, you can't keep them inside and they're uncomfortable being captive, and sadly they will most likely die if you can't catch up with all those tasks. Even if you do have a panda as a pet, they'll put you for 10 years in jail because it is illegal to keep a giant panda. There are definitely more things you have to do in order for the panda to survive and actually be kept as a pet, but that's a low standard. I wish my childhood dream could come true at some point, but at least I can see one in real life. Therefore, it's very clear why we can't keep them as pets and impossible to take care of, because you're already going to jail for stealing a panda. Now that it's clear you can't keep a panda, and how its adorable personality portrays its icon and is recognizable to humans, let's get to the question of the video. Why are pandas the superior animal? These are the 3 reasons, in my opinion, that they will become the superior animal. 1. Adorableness. Even though I explained that is the only thing people think about the creatures, it might be the most important one yet. Like I said from the start, their appearance stands out and a lot of people know it. China made them the natural treasure because how their characteristics represents peace and friendliness, making them cute Chinese people. That's one thing China actually they do everything right. That's probably why organizations like World Wildlife Funds help the pandas, their characteristics. While their cuteness stands out to them, the second reason might boost it up a bit. Popularity. While the goal of 2,000 pandas in the wild will be extraordinary, there is no sign of them stopping. Who knows, if there's a lot of room in the world, there may be 10,000 pandas in the wild, but that may be a stretch. They will possibly get more popular as the years go by if the population growth increases. Finally, the third reason on why they are superior. Characteristics. They will shine like the others, but not as much. They have unique features that are uncommon to people that discover them. They are excellent swimmers and climbers on trees. They do handstands for a specific reason. Their appearance can be useful for survival for camouflage, as we stated at the beginning, and the list goes on. Overall, as time went on, they will get more recognized and will become the superior animal the world has ever seen, if everything goes to plan. But how is this possible for organizations to do this in the first place? Simple. Everyone. People from around the world are noticing that the pandas need help for assistance, so they help the organizations in every way possible. The money is then transferred to the company for research, expansion, and overall supporting the giant pandas, which begs the question, how can you help the pandas? Again, this is not sponsored by any corporations. I wish. You can more likely donate from the organizations or buy merchandise, which are all similar to donating, but you get something in return for helping. There are other ways on how you can help them, but these are the most common ones in my speculations. I always wonder, in another universe, what would it be like if the pandas did go extinct? Firstly, there will be economic decline for China since most of tourism involves pandas, and with them vanishing, tourism revenue would decline, which would affect communities. Secondly, it could harm the ecosystems around them. Most of the pandas would devour the bamboo, and without their feet, there would be uncontrolled bamboo growth, which could lead to deforestation. Thirdly, the cultural identity to China would crumble since the panda's extinctions would lead China to a loss of its meaning. To random folks, it won't seem to care much, but to others, it would be an external crisis. However, we can happily confirm that it's not gonna happen anytime soon, no matter what. There was a chance it would have gone extinct before China and different organizations stepped in. I do want to clarify some things. Before pandas were illegal to foreigners, there might be theories for what humans did before they even gave a pandas a chance. For starters, we know that one panda got shot by the Roosevelt brothers and obtained the precious fur, which makes me wonder something dark. What did they do with the pale body? Did they eat it? Apparently, ancient texts from China claim they consumed the panda meat for tradition, meaning they didn't eat panda meat in ancient history. Maybe when they were first discovered around the 19th century, some small communities might have eaten panda meat, but it wasn't traditional as it was from ancient China. But I can't believe this is proven true since there's not a lot of info online. But I swear, the next person I see eats panda meat again, I will smother them in a fluffy coffin and bury them in marshmallows. It's not a threat, it's a lesson. In conclusion, the pandas have been notified as natural treasures to China and how adorable and unique they are to their image. Many organizations came to help these pandas from endangerment, and they succeeded with moving to vulnerable, which is an achievement, but they aren't stopping anytime soon. They have special abilities for survival, gaining attention to reach popularity, and so much more from this furry creature. This animal, the giant panda, will soon become the superior animal and outstand the rest no matter what. They will most likely not be forgotten in a while or even the end of time, unless something goes wrong, which I hope not. Its ancient history, discovery, their comeback, personality, all comes from this one creature that will soon live in our hearts for the rest of time. The reign of superiority will shine very soon. Hey y'all, sorry this video took a while to make. I was busy with real life stuff, preparation for school, and other things, if you know what I mean. I would like to say that I researched very carefully and double checked any errors I included. Everything can't be perfect, so criticism is totally fine. I may be wrong most of the time. My next video will take a while with research, but during 2025, I will take a break from researching and go with chill videos. I need to get back on the grind with this stuff, so hopefully I can get the next one out as soon as possible. While you're here, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching my first ever animation, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye! Markiplier.